the blockchain basement. Ooh, yeah. We are out here having a good time, enjoying life. It's Friday. It's a fantastic day. I have a wonderful guest coming in here. Isaac,
yes, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. The sticks are always fun. I'm glad to be here. How you doing, Drew?
I'm enjoying that you've learned how to run the sticks along with me. So this is quite helpful.
Been a lot of fun,
young man. Now, quick shout. We have a guest joining us very shortly to show us all of his alpha on the Bitcoin price charts. But big shout out to all the subscribers. We just keep ticking forward here, folks. 60,000.1, getting like 100 a night. What is that? Get that thing out of the way. I can't see the chat with that. 60,000.1 subscribers. We're gaining like 100 subscribers a night. And big shout out to everyone that checked out this video, our exclusive interview with Charles Gasparino on the Go Woke, Go Broke breakdown of BlackRock and major companies across the world as the pendulum swings back in a vicious manner for freedom and the nuclear family. On Twitter, moving forward here as well, it's 2615. We've been doing some spaces. We've been growing out the Twitter community in a huge way. And some of our videos on Twitter are doing better than they are on YouTube, crazy enough. The Gasparino, let's go to this. Look at this, 4.8 thousand views in a day, you know? Like, that feels good, man. It feels real good. Twitter Spaces also blowing up here. The last Twitter Space we did was like 16,000 or 13,000 listens. Absolutely fantastic. So shout out to everyone there that's spreading the truth, the good word. And shout out to the Black Site members. If you're not already a Black Site member, you're missing out on all of the dark underlyings of this channel, where we tell you how to become the most sovereign individual on the planet. You can go to basement.supplies, click the Knowledge Center, go to Join Black Site, and you click this button right here. Hook up your YouTube account and get access to the most dangerous information on the internet. And now we have a lot going on the markets, right? So we have, let's just give this a quick refresh and look at the forest through the trees here real quick. I'm very excited to get Army Piper's take on the markets at large. I'm currently sitting in a long right now that's actually going pretty damn well. I don't know if I should. Man, I'm up by 30% on this. Look at this thing.
That's beautiful.
It's cooking. I don't know. I mean, if you're out there trading on Blowfin, you can use code DRUTH. I do believe we have 1 day left for new user accounts to get $30 in futures bonus on Blowfin. Absolutely wonderful, and very appreciative of them for supporting the channel. And they got a pretty damn good layout for their trading. So right now, God, we're getting close to my take profit, bud.
Oh, I love
what are we doing here?
That.
I mean, we got to lock this in while we're live. Fuck this. I'm going to lock at least this much profit in. That's how you do it, folks. So I can keep moving through all the bullish news. Yeah, I almost feel like closing this right now. That's a big. We'll see if it keeps cooking.
What's the leverage?
What's that?
What's the leverage?
15x.
Okay.
So, you know what? I've sent it this morning. Now, also, if you're into trading bots, we have another partner that's supporting the channel in a huge, huge way. 2bit. They have access to trading bots, but they're also offering some pretty good incentives. You can complete these tasks to earn up to 30,210 rewards. These are new registers. First 1,000 new registers get free $5 as a welcome bonus for transferring a minimum of $10 into the futures trading account, and you will get an extra $5 USDT. Copy trading rewards, you can earn up to 200 tether bonus for the first copy trade, and then you can deposit and get trading rewards up to 30,000 USDT in rewards for new users that are supporting the channel, getting in there, trading with the Druth. Shout out to you. And then Crypto Man Sam, giving him a quick bow. What is up, my man? Word on the street is that crypto is dead. The only thing dead is dead bare brain cells. That is accurate, my man. That is accurate. You are dead right on that. And at large, you know, I have a lot of stuff I want to go over with Army Piper. I feel like getting right on into it. We got Robert Colby, Small Face No Toe, BC Pork Cope, a bunch of new names. Cool to see all these new names. Alden, EDV.
Welcome in, fam.
All the good peeps here. We got C98W. Let's bring up Army Piper to bring some voice of reason to these silly markets. How are you doing, Army Piper?
I'm doing great. We're going to 10K, right? And that,
Oh,
and that the
man.
word?
That is actually the idiocy of that conversation back when we're at 17,000 upstairs was the reason why this channel was formed. So it's incredible you bring that wonderful
Nice.
number up.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
man.
They said, we don't like your differing opinion. To the basement you go. Here's your canned tuna, and there's a porta john down there.
Yes.
So
Yes. And you know, it's great. In the basement, nothing is beneath us and everything goes over our heads. So it's about the right spot for me to be in. But Army Piper, thank you for joining me on this show.
thanks for
I've been
having me,
following
dude.
your work for a long time, dude, and I really respect the work you do. Now, really, the conversation is the cycle broken? I keep getting hit up by all these people, even traditional finance folks, that are worried about these altcoins and the 50, 60% reduction in their value, but the 20%, the 30% pullbacks on Bitcoin. It's really got the markets shaken up in a big way. So I wanted to come to you and just get your true and tried opinion of where we are right now in relevance to your longer time frames, but then even look at the kind of closer time frames to see what kind of levels of resistance we might be running into.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the reason you're seeing a lot of that taking place right now, like that overly bearish sentiment, is because we've got a lot of economic things going on right now on top of the normal look of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's worst case scenario, doomsday in everyone's head. And sadly, they're going to miss out on some of the greatest deviations of purchase opportunities that we've had in a long time. But I'll tell you who's not missing that opportunity. BlackRock is not missing that opportunity.
Right.
Grayscale,
Right.
MicroStrategies, El Salvador, they are not missing those opportunities. So yeah, for sure. What do you want to look at first? I got a lot of charts. I've got a lot of historical data, and then I've got a lot of TA, but I do have to give a shout out to the alumni in the chat. I heard you say some of their names, so shout out to the alumni coming over here to join us from the academy.
Cool. Well, yes, thank you for joining the shows, guys. Really, I think we should start from the forest through the trees here. I really, I think that it'll be helpful to kind of look at where we are in relevance to past cycles and what to expect for price action as we head, into the latter part of the year. Because it's something I've made clear from my own metrics, but I want your opinion. Am I dead wrong, or are you thinking opposite of me, or because I feel like I've seen so many different levels of confluence. And some of the stuff you're showing me before the show was just groundbreaking on that larger time frame. So I think we should start there.
All right, well let's jump in on that, and we'll lay that stuff out then.
Perfect.
So starting here with this first chart here, guys. This is from Elja. He shared it on X. It's a great chart, but he talks about it in here. Consolidation 2016. Bitcoin consolidated for about 170 days before its breakout, and you can see that down here. Little consolidation, white box. Up it goes, right? 2020 consolidated about 168 days. This is the norm. It's that 170, 165 day window. Currently, right now for 2024, we are consolidating about 129 days so far. And this is in the normal post-halving movement that we've seen over and over and over again. If history is anything else to go by, Bitcoin is right now looking for a breakout in about the next 35 to 40 days, according to this. Let's go down a little bit further here. I got another one. I've got a whole lot of historicals here. We're just going to look at this and see the average, shoot it in the middle and see where we're at on this azimuth, right? Currently, according to Rect Capital, we are 42.5 days into the bull cycle. That's it. Progress for this is based on the standard halving cycles. Again, just like we saw, there's a little accumulation period with each of those halvings before the breakouts, right? We keep seeing that over and over again. We're in there, 122 days. According to this, typically for that breakout of around the halving, it's 123 days and 123 days. That's 1 day more than where we are right now. So we literally could be on the precipice with this. I do believe it's about 30 to 40 days, though, before we see that. Let's keep going. There's more, but wait, there's more here, Drew. Let's go over here and take a look at another Rect Capital. And he talks about these standard deviations of the downside, okay? This is where these accumulation periods have come for massive purchase power for Bitcoin. And you can see here where we currently are in this red block here. Every time that we go beneath that deviation period, it has been picked up very quickly. Those wicks have massively pumped right back above that deviation period there over and over and over again. That is where all of that Bitcoin is being picked up by these big institutional whales, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to show, well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we'll show this one and then we'll get into it. I think this 320 over here, we'll just say this right off the bat. I think 320 is a little overzealous. We'll go with that word. But I do think that we have a very big run coming up. If you look here back historically, back to 2013, this is looking at parabolas, guys, and what it's doing is capturing the swing of the bear cycle into accumulation and into the bull cycle. And it's literally running on this geometrical algorithm of a parabola, okay, every single cycle. If you look at where we are in the current cycle right now, it looks just like the rest of them. Here's our standard deviation in, our bear market bottom, up to the upside, right? We are running right along that parabola, and according to this chart from AO, it looks like $320,000 Bitcoin. Now, I know you're thinking that's great. We have a lot of different things there going on with historical charts that you've seen on Bitcoin, but what does it look like on the TA charts? And so I've got some of my own stuff too, but I don't know. Do you want to inject on any of that before I get into the TA side?
Yeah, I mean, well, and just on my side, I try to stick to timeframes very specifically, and the season of accumulation was where I literally was able to change my life last cycle. It was a time frame we were getting barely above 10K, and then we'd get slapped back down. And really, you know, in that time frame in specific is really where I hammered in. I don't consistently DCA. I am a seasonal DCAer. And I feel like we are in the season for DCAing just because of the time frame after the halving, but I also use the Bitcoin dominance metric. But everything that you just showed me very much so lines up with my historical pattern. And I really, really think that that's important for people to keep into perspective right now, because I've been saying we're essentially spoiled from these Bitcoin ETFs, getting us to all-time highs before the halving. And by rights, we should have been ranging in that 45, maybe top, higher 40s range. But yeah, I want to check out your TA now and kind of see what you're looking at on your charts. Absolutely.
Awesome. Yes, let's jump over here then. I've got, this is my master chart, and shout out to Eric Wallen if he's in the chat right now, but he's always like, there's Piper's favorite chart. Yes, this is my favorite chart. Guys, this is a historical Bitcoin chart going all the way back to 2011. It's the entire history of Bitcoin, and it can be captured in a Fibonacci channel. Just so you know. So looking at this, every cycle bottom, we've never broken the golden pocket ever. It's gone down. It's wicked into it with the Roro dump back there in 2020, but we've never broken it. So when people talk about, well, we've never had a Bitcoin cycle that's had a bad economic condition. You're right. That is absolutely true. That is why we got trapped in the golden pocket for about 2 months before we fell down to our bottom. And when we did that, I said, look, we've lost the golden pocket. This has never happened before. So we now have to go, everything that this used to be, you can't break the golden pocket, now has to be with, we should never break the platinum pocket, right? And so when we look at that, that's the 786 there, and the 887 is this range here. So when we were coming in, and there were some people back in the day talking about $10,000 Bitcoin this and $13,000 Bitcoin that, and I was watching us run right here into the 786, and I was telling people, let's bring this in a little bit here, bring it in for some clarity. I was telling people at that point that we've got here really about a month before we are going to move up, because we cannot run in and break the 786.
Yeah.
Based on the power of fibs is how they work. We should be pumping up from here. Well, what did we do? We literally pumped up, like, I think it was 3 days after I said it on one of the shows that I was on at the time. Again, we come into the period here of August 2023, about a year ago. Started running into it, and that's when I was telling people like Crypto Keeper and Blockchain Crusader, I was like, we're not going to break the 786. I said that down there, and now I'm even more confident that we're not going to. We're going to start moving up, and you can see how this almost like started to fight to stay in this parallel with it before it took off. Now that we've gotten up here, I went back and I've got another layer of analysis on this thing that I want to show you. It's a 3-phase cycle, okay? And so in every single cycle going back, let me bring this in and bring this over so we can get this up, get it up for the students in class here. We have these 3 phases, okay? You've got your bottom, phase 1. That is your accumulation phase at the bottom of the bear market. It comes up, and I've taken this from the candle close high to the candle close low for horizontal fibs overlapping with the Fibonacci channel, right? And so you go into phase 2. After phase 2 runs from the 50% fib up to the golden pocket fib. And once we break that and retest that, that is typically where we've had our upside move here. And you can see there's this little accumulation right here above that platinum pocket that we accumulate right there above it, right? Let's go to the next cycle, take a look. This one was a little interesting because we did have a phase 3 go back into a phase 2, and then we had the Rona dump that pulled it all out of cycle. But if you look at just from the halving on, where we went into phase 2, came back, retest that golden pocket again, up it goes, a little accumulation in that top range of that 1-to-1 to the platinum pocket there, right? Look at our current cycle, because guess what we did, guys? The exact same thing again. Yes, identical.
I feel like I'm looking at the Bitcoin matrix right now. This is so cool.
Dude, I speak Satoshi.
Yeah, this is sick. Let's keep rolling with it, but I just had to interject. Like, I love how you have all of the cycles so concisely separated, segregated out, so people can really see those pockets of opportunity. And in that COVID dump, I mean, I was mad at myself for missing that original time frame where Bitcoin had gone down into it. I just didn't have the money. But then when COVID came, I had already had like a year's worth of goods in my house. So instead of running to Costco, I went and I bought Bitcoin for like $4,000, Ethereum for $180, and leaning into that, scary time. Yeah.
I was heavy in the Army at the time.
Really?
So I didn't have the chance to buy it. But my job in the Army, I was an intel analyst. And so my job was to take historical data, aggregate it, assess it, and do predictive analysis based on trends and patterns behind me to project forward, right? Predictive analysis is what I did for 22 years in the Army.
I can tell.
I actually started...
You definitely given me those vibes.
I started into crypto in late 2020, and then once I understood that, okay, this works. The analytical process works on TA. It works on market cycles. Then I started getting really risky with some trades. Turned about 20,000 into about 80,000. Turned 80,000 into almost $500,000. So that is my current run right now since 2020. Just driving forward and taking these opportunities like we were talking about, those buy circles. So let's get into where we are now, though, in this cycle, because now is where it's looking really interesting, because remember that 786, we're coming up on it. So let's jump into that and take a look. We have this run here, guys, that we're doing right now. And you can see we went into phase 2 here. We went into phase 3. We came back again, just like I said earlier, did that golden pocket test that we always do there, right? Every cycle, there's a golden pocket test. We did it again in the cycle. And that was when I was telling my alumni over there in our community, guys, this is it. We got this pullback. And that was that pullback from the 786 to the golden pocket here. Wonderful how Fibonacci's work. I love it. It's human behavior set on a chart. We're all just programmed biocomputers. Everyone sell here. Everyone buy here. Okay. You got it? All right, good. Move out. And so that pullback there, that was a pullback from that 786 down to here of about 20%, right? You guys remember that whole dump back in January. This was the ETF, right? Guys, not manipulated. Literally off the 786 down to the golden pocket again. This is what it always does. Every cycle. We break out of it, and then up here, what I've been telling my community is, as long as we hold above the 786 or the 887, I should say, the platinum pocket, then we are running on a typical cycle. Let's go clean off the brushes here and throw this on, and you'll see we had this accumulation period back here between phase 1 and phase 2. And that was where it held and it respected that. Well, we have another one going here now also right there. And so as long as we hold this, this is a brilliant setup for another move, just like we've always seen. And every time that we have broken down here, it has been bought up to a candle close above that 887 like clockwork and perfect. Like this is surgical on how well this is playing out still. If you look at where we are right now and we run this over on a time frame, I'm looking at 1 week here. We are looking at about 90 days according to this. Now, okay. I do think that there is some call for lower prices here. And I do want to show you that because I don't want to be, yes, I think in the next 90 days, we do have a run here, but there is a range down below that I'm watching that will be my all-in point to buy. Let's put this on the daily here. Let me bring this over and I'll show you this because this levels here, this Fibonacci's that I'm running here, these are going from the all-time high, or the low, I should say, back in 2018 to the all-time high here of 2021 and back to the bottom again. So it is a trend-based fib extension that these have been playing on beautifully here. You can see Bitcoin's rejection from the top here, pretty much the top of the platinum pocket, prime area of reversal. It's come down, golden pocket, golden pocket, golden pocket. We did have the sell-off here that went down into a box that I had been calling at 52,000 for a hot minute on our show. And the level that I'm watching for the ultimate pullback happens to be down here at about 40,000 to 45,000. If you look right here, that's a $43,000 range. That's the number that I've been calling. Why? We have a huge volume node down here from this entire period of time here on a fixed range volume profile. On top of that, it would also be a retest of the 382 down there. So if we lose $52,000 and get a candle close below this, there's a volume node there. That is a previous area of play there on price action. If we lose that, I'm watching for $43,000. Now, I hope I'm wrong on that, but I do think ultimately if you got skin in this game, you need to breathe, you need to be patient because October, November is where it all plays out, guys. And if you look at this here, this is your monthly breakdowns, historical of Bitcoin, month after month, year after year. And if you look at October, November over here, the average total median, the average of those 2 months combined is about 80 to 90% move up in October and November alone. So if we do get back over there to that area of $43,000 Bitcoin, you're looking at a phenomenal opportunity to snatch it up. But if we don't, just strap in. This 90-day ride is going to be well worth it. Don't worry about the economy. It looks like 25 basis points right now. We talked about 50 basis points when I was on the X space with you and how bad that would be because it scares investors in the risk-off world. But we're already starting to see the treasury bonds slow down. They're not being bought up as quickly. The yen carry trade has all shaken out pretty well right now. And overall, what we're seeing is things are starting to settle down, calm down, smooth out, and we're still on the same cycle of projection that we've always been on Bitcoin every single cycle. So,
man, I mean, I love this. I love this. And really, it's so much confluence to what I look at. I mean, I don't look at fibs. I don't look at any of that stuff. Really, I operate off time and the Bitcoin halving time frames. And my time frame of continuously buying crypto ends in the middle of November, just by the Bitcoin dominance history. So, you know, in the price, I just have a baseline rule. Once I see a 3X, I take some off. Once I see a 5X, I take more off. And then I leave a little bit on the table just in case I found the next Ethereum and it goes to the absolute moon. But that is some absolutely awesome information you just laid down for everyone. It looks like we got a lot of people going and finding you, following you. And shout out to the basement dwellers for following Army Piper, because this is some amazing tea that you just laid down there, man. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. God, on this, so let's talk about the shorter time frame. I'm in this short right now, or I'm in a long right now. I put it in, I think about 58.1. I'm up. I got my stop loss protecting me and stuff like that, but I was overall aiming for about $60,000 as the point of short term resistance and basically a slap around moment, I call them. What are you seeing on the shorter time frames that might be the next bump in the road for Bitcoin over the next few weeks here?
Yeah, absolutely. You're that 60,000 range that you're talking about, spot on, man. So right now I've got a key mark right here at $59,000. That's where we are getting rejected right now. This is the resistance box that I put up here. I call them T boxes. Shout out TA Tim. Worked on investing roads with him for a long time, and now I love using these resistance and support boxes, right? So that is literally where we are getting rejected right now. That is also your 200-day exponential moving average. I like to use EMAs more than the SMAs. I just think that they give way more accurate play. You can see the wick up there to the 50-day was like beautiful right here in this resistance box that I told everybody, this is your area of confluence for resistance right here. And then that's what led to this downside. We've got to get above this, but if we get above this, I want to show you what this looks like on the daily, because on the daily, there is so much confluence in this box right here. And this range is coming in, by the way, between 62,000 to 63.5. Okay. In that range, you've got the 50-day exponential moving average, the 100-day exponential moving average. You've got this quantum reactor, and you've got this dynamic reactor. There are two algorithmic moving averages and two exponential moving averages running in confluence in this box right now. So you can see how much this has played out. We're looking at dailies here, going back to August 8th, again here. This has been a resistance line for price action over and over and over again. So being that that's the case right now, I am seeing that we are at this 200-day. I do think we can get a pump up there, but I actually am going to be watching for a rejection here at about $61,000. That's going to be a key level of resistance that I think that we get pushed back down again on this price action. On the downside of that, though, you can see here again the fibs, biological computers, guys. They don't lie. That was where we got our bounce at yesterday afternoon, right there on that 618 of the golden pocket. So if we get a bounce off here, or a rejection, I should say, off of the 6.6 and this 200-day, this little resistance T box we got going here, I do think that we're going to come down here. If we get a bounce here, if we get that double bottom, that could be setting this up for another upside move that we're looking at. Could also be setting this up for a little bit of a sellout for this weekend, or a short out, I mean, this weekend, where those people that think that we were going down get wrecked and hurt and touched in bad places. So, they like to do that on the weekend when nobody else can do much about it.
Pretty much.
On the weekend, that's where they get you.
And I hate trading the weekends. I hate trading the weekends. And really, like, how I'm trading the market is I honestly, even if I see the pullbacks coming, I don't try to short in an uptrend.
Ever.
Yeah, it just feels too sketchy.
I shorted the bear market. Okay. I'm not looking for shorts now. I set my YOLO entries down there for my long entries. But no, I long when we're in a trend to the upside, and that's what we are right now. And here's the reason why. Psychological, take notes here, class. Psychological here. You can always come back to a higher price. You may not come back to that short that you got into and it takes off. You may never, ever come back to that price. It may be lost. That trade is done.
That is serious words of wisdom right there. It's kind of like those CME gaps, right? Like we have CME gaps at like 3K something, 9K. I don't think we're ever going to see those filled. So absolutely incredible information. And again, let the whole chat know where to follow you. You guys, if you're not following Piper for his TA, you're missing out. Where can they find you at, brother?
We have a YouTube channel called Piper Academy. It's got a PA logo of blockchain letters locked together in it. On that channel, there's myself, there's Tradefly, OC Guy, Crux of Crypto with deep dives, Blackie Chan, which is BC Port Corp, and Lunar Beaches Crypto, and FD White. And here soon, maybe some content from Amy Lives Crypto. It's a home for a lot of content creators. We're small, but we're mighty. We've got 6,000 subscribers coming up soon. So we need to 10x to catch up to you. And we're doing good. We don't chill. We just give honest data, and we give people, the information you need to know, maybe not what you want to hear. So
yeah, I mean, what you just laid down and, you know, your abilities, I think you're going to be one of the bigger channels this bull market. Just looking at it, man. Like,
I appreciate that, man.
yeah, absolutely fantastic work. So, man, this has been incredible. I think you really kind of solved all the Bitcoin stories I had, and you gave a different opinion from a different angle, and it lines up exactly with what I'm looking at. So, I appreciate everything that you do. We'll make sure that your information is pinned at the top of this chat, and I'm looking forward to bringing you on, and I'm happy to come on to your show. If you ever have a chance for it, I'll come on there anytime I can, brother.
Yeah, we do guests all the time. Like every Wednesday through Friday, we're always open to guests coming on. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the market open for the morning show.
Okay.
And then we also do a nightcap in the evening with TradeFly and FD White, where they give a wrap up of the day. So we're not just charts over there. We do a lot of TA, but we're really focused on the macroeconomic side, which is what we talked about on the X space, because I think it's got the heaviest weighted vote in what's going to happen with price action at any given time. So I could have all the TA in the world saying up forever, but if we have World War III kickoff tomorrow, that macroeconomic fundamental has a much bigger vote where that price is going. So we talk about 100%. That a lot also.
No, that's important stuff to watch, man. Well, I appreciate you, Piper, and thank you for your service to this country, sir.
I appreciate you.
Absolute pleasure. So I'll see you soon. Man, that guy
Thanks, brother.
is awesome. Holy shit. That was really
Let's go.
great.
That was great.
So many points of confluence in there. That was crazy. You know, seeing all the fibs laid out from the whole time frame.
Yeah.
It's a thing of beauty right there. Man, this trade, I'm still in this trade. Let's pull it up here real quick. Let's let the chat decide. Should I just close this thing out? I mean, we're at $100, 30, what are we at? 31%. We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely safe as far as my stop loss here, but
+1 to close it, +2 to keep going.
there you go. There you go. You know how to get them going.
Oh yeah.
Now let's cover everything else here. As Piper said, massive holders have accumulated 500,000 Bitcoin since July 30th. They give no F's on the market pullbacks. BlackRock is still recording massive inflows. Institutionals clearly don't believe this cycle is over. And SEC approved a first leveraged long MicroStrategy ETF. Obviously, they are feeling bullish on that upside. And the third largest public pension fund in the world, South Korea's NPS, just bought $34 million of MicroStrategy stock to get Bitcoin exposure. Absolutely crazy to see. Now, let's let them vote. Let's run the mid-roll. We'll come right back to you. We'll decide if we're closing this long or not. Let's send it. The blockchain basement is...
What that?
The blockchain basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using three-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel. Use code BASE10 and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today. Yeah, all right, fine. I'm going to close it. We may as well close it. Or here, I'm just going to close it out. This is fun. This is fun.
Live trading
Yeah,
here with the
We're going to go ahead and close this one out. Basically, 100%. Bam. You know, may as well. You can't go broke taking profits. That's what they always say.
Amen.
You know, they always say that, and that's a good thing to do. And basically, you know, this trade, it was a little spicy this morning. You know, I put it up right in this range. It dipped below it for a second. I had my tight stop loss down here. If I lost this level, I think it was at like 57.4. That was where I was gonna, you know, just take my ball and go home. But it didn't. So practiced a little bit of responsible trading on there, and it worked out pretty good.
Let's go.
Indie Halo. Isn't Indie Halo the one that told me to go do deadlifts or squats yesterday regardless? I swear to God, someone in the chat wanted me to injure myself.
Besides myself.
And you little shit.
That's me.
Now look at this. Arizona and Florida are effed. Inventory skyrocketing for homes. Many homes are with more for sale than 2019, but this time is different. We got a 69.7% inventory increase in Arizona and a 70% inventory increase in Florida. Georgia with a 56% increase. You know what? This is actually kind of lining up perfect. This is how we leverage crypto into homes. I'm always a big proponent on buying homes with crypto profits. And that's definitely what I'm going to be doing this cycle as well. And look at this. Lumber prices declined to their lowest level since the 2020 pandemic. Let's check it out. This is the lumber price graph. This is where I ran a fencing business in this realm, and that sucked. Many people were not willing to do any sort of fencing, decking projects in this time frame. So seeing the lumber price come back down, I think that, you know, it'll be kind of multifold. You're going to have construction projects hopefully see a little bit of a pullback on their cost, but also home prices coming on the backside there. So it's nice to see that relief coming. Maybe that'll help out the construction industry a little bit. But it is an annual income of at least $200,000 needed to afford a typical home in 17 major metro areas in the United States. The most expensive area is San Jose, California, where the household would need to make $587,000 per year to afford the average home. That is absolutely insane to think about. $500,000 per year just to be able to make it by, live comfortably. The median house sale price in San Jose Metro just hit $2 million for the first time in history. Meanwhile, the median sale price of an existing home in the U.S. rose in 199 of 223 metros in Q2 of 2024. Housing affordability has never been worse. And look at the worst places to live. I keep telling people to get the hell out of California. Holy God. This is absolutely crazy to see. Now, moving on here, the game plan from Marty Party: print new money, buy all the Bitcoin, pump the Bitcoin, refinance the old debt. We did it with the old gold. Now we do it again with a new gold, which is Bitcoin. It is clear. This is a hot take and a good take from Marty Party. Shout out to you, brother. Now, this banana dots has been detected in the wastewater of 2 different California districts. Currently, officials are investigating a wastewater from 2 separate districts in San Francisco, California, that has detected the presence of banana dots. The first detection occurred in the Oceanside neighborhood of San Francisco, followed by a second detection in the southern-eastern part of the city. These findings are particularly concerning as they come just one day after the World Health Organization declared banana dots a global health emergency. So this is the narrative that they're selling to the American people. This is how they're going to try to get you scared and not going to the polls and not going to church once again. Please, for the love of God, do not comply. Now, this graph. Banana dots found in the USA. Interesting. We have a Pfizer graph. This is Pfizer on the 1 week. And we can see, man, boy, did they have just a great time with all that fear in the market and their products flying off the shelves. Just a real good time indeed. Now they are at extreme lows that haven't been seen in a long time. And likely you'll see they'll run this fear into the markets once again, and a bunch of sheep are left over because the average person doesn't think for themselves, and run this number once again up to the north side. Very unfortunate. Now here is the Hyenas Plan to fix the last 4 years of economic destruction. With the selection right around the corner, the average American choking on inflation, Vice President Hyena Harris has unveiled several galaxy brain policies aimed at lowering costs for the average American family, which she and her teleprompter will present at Friday on the speech in North Carolina at 2:45 p.m. Eastern, just days before the National Democratic Convention in Chicago. Sure, that's going to be surrounded by Palestinian protesters, I guarantee you. Luis Samas, buying land, home assets with profits next year. I'm all in, baby. Thank you, Drew in the basement, and Fam for the daily alpha. Health on a shelf. Luis, shout out to you, man. And boy, howdy, do we got plans with Luis, man. I'm very, very excited for the future of the basement, brother. We all know about the hyena stealing Donald Trump's plan to eliminate taxes on tips after she was a tie-breaking vote on legislation to supercharge IRS enforcement. But now we have this. Here's your price gouging narrative. Average cost paid by a business have risen just as much as the cost charged to customers. If businesses are being greedy, then they're doing it all wrong. They're talking about razor-thin margins already on that plate for the average company, and it is happening at a pretty tight rate. Other items include efforts aimed at lowering the cost of rent and helping renters who are struggling financially. According to NBC News, she will propose plans to stop data firms from driving up lease rates, as well as stopping Wall Street firms from buying and flipping homes in bulk. Highly doubt that she's going to follow through with any of these hopes and dreams.
That's correct.
The hyena will also call for the construction of 3 million new housing units via construction tax incentives, as well as a $40 billion proposal for local governments to build or preserve affordable housing units. We're sure that that won't be a giant cash grab, just like Oprah Winfrey in Maui. Now, meanwhile, I had to do it. They can't stop me. Meanwhile, according to the Gallup survey taken earlier this year, just 21% of Americans say it's a good time to buy a house. While just days ago, July's inflation readings show that the shelter prices jumped from 0.4% from the previous month. According to Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, it might take several years for pandemic-era rent increases to abate. And now, during a Thursday news conference at his New Jersey golf resort, the former president, the orange one, maybe the best, denounced the package as a Venezuelan-style communism. Just very based. And we have the polar opposites of two worlds clashing right now. We have one talking about price controls and basically just outward communism in a public fashion, which, you know, a lot of people that are on the fence, they see this as chaos. But there are some with TDS, the orange one's derangement syndrome, that will never get off of their hill. They will die there, metaphorically speaking, of course. Now, here we talk about the person behind the Crypto for Harris campaign. Meet Amanda Wick. She looks real. Let's just soak in this photo real quick. Real charmer right there. Huge charm. I feel it flowing through my bones. Let's look at her history, though. Senior investigative counsel at the U.S. House of Representatives. Okay. Chief of legal affairs at Chainalysis. So she's got some deep crypto analysis experience. Senior policy advisor, detailee for the Department of Treasury Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Okay, here's where things are getting weird. Trial attorney at the U.S. Department of Justice. Oh, okay.
What is that?
Asset forfeiture coordinator at the United States Attorney Office, appointed to be the asset forfeiture coordinator for the district, responsible for coordinating the criminal and civil forfeiture cases in the office. I was also responsible for reviewing and revising DAG forms, indictments, and plea agreements to include proper asset forfeiture provisions, and coordinating with the AUSAs to conduct the financial investigation portion of criminal cases. And then finally, the Financial Crimes Task Force Coordinator. So looks like she's basically just a, what do you call it? It's like a crypto seizing Department of Treasury cop, I guess.
Something like that.
You know, something like that.
The ultra regulator.
Not looking too open and kind to the crypto market. I'm just going to shoot from the hip and say that. Looking at this background here, pretty damn terrifying right there. Now, amidst all the chaos on the macroeconomic side, we have gold hitting $2,500 for the first time in history, ahead of Kamala's central planning to unveil. That will usher in even more runaway inflation. Super fantastic. Gold on the spot ounce. Now, a lot of people compare Bitcoin to gold. You are not playing in the right field here. And here's why. So this data, it basically has moved from $2,430 over, you know, from August of 2024. They're kind of zooming in on this time frame. But let's back up. Let's look what Bitcoin's done. And since August, we've lost some. We're losing a bit to gold in the short term right now. I think where's August here? June, July, August. Yeah. I mean, we're not pumping like gold is. But here's the backed up picture. There you go. And this has only been in existence since 2008. 2009 time frame, and we're up by what is this 9,000 or something percent. It's a lot of percent. It's way more than gold.
More than 9,000.
Way more than gold. So with that, you can take it into a few different ways. Where is commerce moving in general? It's moving online. People aren't going to be cutting gold bars up. But it does offer a good thing Flat Smack brings up is actual privacy, but then you have to house it. You have to move it. And you're not going to be lugging around your gold in your brain or on your back if you have to get out of your house should Hamala get into office and start mass confiscations, right?
Mass communism.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And there's no other way to spin it. You know what I mean? Here's the nightmare of grocery shopping in Venezuela. In Venezuela, government supermarkets sell price-controlled food, making them far cheaper than private stores. But Valero explains that people are allowed in state-run supermarkets just 2 days per week based on their ID card number. The system is designed to prevent shoppers from buying more than they need and then reselling the goods on the black market at a huge markup. Government has stopped giving regular economic statistics, but many independent economists say that inflation is now north of 100% annually. Rising anger over food shortages plus Byzantine rules about when and where people can buy things have made grocery shopping in Venezuela a nightmare. This is the result of those procedures. And now DZ with a hot take on this. Even Google knows how ridiculous this policy is. Grocery stores operate on a razor-thin profit margin. The industry average of between 1 to 3% in profits, far below other retail sectors. With such lean margins, the grocery stores rely heavily on a high sales volume and inventory turnover to thrive. This is something to keep in mind when they're trying to sell you this lie. Elon Musk, with a kiss, we now have actual 1911 emojis. This is huge. I really am excited about this. This is freedom pew-pews. And you know what he did, Isaac? He did it so people put up the pew-pews as it was like the green one.
The water
and
gun?
then they automatically switched over to the 1911.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was overnight, very big moment for society. And here's a shout out to Palmetto State Armory. They got a little deal going on right now, you guys. The PSA 16-inch nitride 5.56 NATO with a PSA Dagger Compact 9mm for $789.
Guess who's buying?
You're gonna get one of these?
This guy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like it. Now this is Coins Chick. Nick isn't here, so I can say whatever I want today. Nick is always lurking. It's never safe, Coins Chick. Never safe. This is a hell of a deal, though. This is a hell of a deal to get yourself fully ready and very ungovernable. I really think that this is just a baseline in need for every man in the United States that's got high T, a family to protect, and wants to protect your freedoms of First Amendment rights. It's only backed up by the Second Amendment. Smoke them if you got them, folks. Now here, this is important to think about. Give me the audio on this PC. We're listening to this. Let's soak it in.
Tired of coming home after a long day of committing tax fraud just to feel like you're being watched in your own house? You're not imagining it. Here are my top 3 tips to find out whether or not your chicken is a fed. Number 1, check around the coop. What you want to be finding here is eggs and chicken shit. If it said you're finding MK Ultra documents, that is not a good sign. Stay vigilant. Number 2, when listening to your bird, if instead of clucking, they're relaying numbers in a seemingly random order, that is not a chicken, that is a government-funded number station. Again, not what you want. Last but not least, number 3, look for a response. When within earshot of your chicken, casually say something like, I think Ted Kaczynski did nothing wrong. If your bird remains silent, they've begun recording your conversation and are uploading your coordinates. That is a fed, and if you do not act immediately, the news is going to say that you drowned while swimming. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck, Godspeed, and trust no chicken.
Very based. What a gal. And that's some deep alpha right there, folks. And I got to watch it because I got a lot of new chickens on the property.
You do.
And I'm really keeping a close eye on them. You know what I mean? Like, they're new to the family. They're new to the environment. You got to make sure they're not feds. Isaac, are you a fed?
No, why would I be a fed?
That's exactly what a fed would say.
You know what? Calling me a fed, it's the most disrespectful shit.
Well, no, I didn't call you. I asked you if you're a fed.
Oh, then the answer is no.
I gotta ask. It's fair. Now I gotta share her memes like every day. She's incredible. This is from Don Alt. We're gonna talk about altcoins, right? Because I hold a lot of alts. And I know a lot of people in the chat are holding a lot of alts. So Don Alt coming out, been vocally bearish since the 70 to 60K range. And while the charts look even worse than they did back then, the market feels much better now. A lot of shit has been washed out. A cleansing is underway. Just wish the charts were not beyond effed. It's hard to make bets like this. And this is where the chaotic beings come into place. And then my favorite chart and kind of one of the main bellwethers of well, first, let's look at my portfolio. Let's FUD my own bags first. Where's Chainlink? So here's Chainlink sitting here, and my average entry on Chainlink is coming in right at about $4. But where I'm at right now is I'm looking at a complete price reset, folks. This is the prove it point that we experienced after we had the initial sell-off in 2020. Because remember, Chainlink pumped from right around $1.90 up to 16, 17 bucks last bull market, very quickly ahead of a lot of others. But then it sold off down to this level at $7.80. The $7.80 level is essentially the top of this channel where I felt like accumulating a ton more. And this recent sell-off got a lot of people shook. You know, times were great. We were having fun when it was 21 bucks. In essence, we are at that price resetting, and I actually do feel like we have 2 more months of pain when the markets now, not necessarily pain in just a straight down action, but pain as far as what I call accumulation zone. And this is where you can actually make the real good moves in crypto. So right here, we saw the pump down to $18.20. I'm still holding my link, and I really think in general, Chainlink is going to hit around 150 to 200 bucks at the peak of this next cycle. So I feel great about my bags. I really am not concerned about this at all. And Chainlink is the most provably instituted crypto outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum out there with its partnership with Swift. Amen. Now, we're going to look at Avalanche here because I got a lot of people asking me about Avalanche. I still hold a little bag, but this is the one that I shaved tons of profit on because look at how aggressive it was. Hammered in with a good amount of money at 10 bucks right there. And my wife was like, you know what? I want a building. She wanted, and we needed a new vehicle. So we took a lot of profits between $50 and $54 a token. Turns out my wife is this genius crypto selling oracle on my shoulder, as she proved in the last cycle too. Last cycle when Ethereum was 4,500 bucks, she's like, honey, I want a van. I want a van. You're going to buy a van now with that. I did it. And she's a genius. And I feel so lucky that that's my wife. Oh my God. But now we're sitting at a full price reset. The original Pump 2 moment has been refound, and I finally feel like buying more Avalanche. So just making that pretty clear as far as the opportunity zones that we are in. Caspa is in and of itself a realm of its own. Marathon Digital looking to mine Caspa. This is a violent new dirty bird on the crypto markets. This is probably going to be one of the household names in crypto. It's number 21 right now as far as market cap size, sitting at $4 billion. And really, this is just stair stepping to the north side, you guys. I think that the FUD against proof of work systems is dead. I think that the whole idea of ESG and this whole DEI movement is long gone. And I highlighted this when it happened, but essentially what you had happen in March of 2024 is 16 different attorney generals from across the United States slapped Larry Fink across the face. They said, hey, you're not going to use our pension funds and our investment funds to bet against our energy production industry. You are not going to use our money for our own demise. And so that proof of work FUD all of a sudden vanished. And guess what you have now? You have BlackRock. We are bullish on Bitcoin. This is the future. They only tapped out because they realized that they were getting called out and potentially sued to the end of the planet by attorney generals from the United States that weren't going to stand for it, that were going to pull their money from the fund because it was being used in a nefarious manner. Now you have BlackRock, all bullish on Bitcoin. Look at that. Freedom wins once again. On Caspa, it's in that proof of work realm. And, you know, a Caspa, I wouldn't doubt if it hits a $20 billion market cap this cycle by any means. And really, it's hard to give a cap on how high it could go. I feel like $20 billion is kind of like the bearish level for this thing. I'm honestly, it's already number 21. Proof of work can't be targeted anymore. I would really think that it's capable more like 60. But that's 60? Like, if we do hit 60, that's where, because here's the rule. Here's my rule. When I see a 3x, I take some off the top. I take profits when you hit a 3x. Then you take more profits when you hit a 5x. And then the rest of it, you leave for the time frame of the 4-year cycle. And I'm targeting mid-2025 for that time frame where I'm taking all of those bags off the table. Just so you know what I'm going to do. You can make your own decisions out there for yourself and whatever your personal goals are. I think what happens and what's the most effective thing is when you have a specific and reasonable goal in your mind of what number is actually going to change your life for the better. And then it's much easier to know when to pull the trigger. So just keep that in mind. If you know, because Nick has been mining Caspa since it was like a fraction of a penny. You know, we mine it here at Hit Network. Pull up this chart just to show this. The Savage himself, the mining expert himself, Nick, was mining and started our mining systems up in this range. So we're feeling good about the Caspa mining. How far and up it can go. Holy shit. It's hard to say, you guys. I mean, like the FUD against proof of work is a big conversation because for anyone that was around last cycle, it was all about proof of stake. It was all about the sustainability of proof of stake. You can't sustain the world, and we're gonna get flooded out from proof of work systems. That's gone because they realized that not only is it unprofitable to dump a bunch of money into ESG initiatives, but it's also counterintuitive to the literal economies of states across the U.S. So it's hard to put a cap on Caspa. I would not be surprised if this thing hits $60 billion, though. Just throwing that out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here, we got some more stuff to cover here. What do we got? This is from Evan Aldo, another excellent TA, friend of the channel, and we were able to hang out in
Really nice guy.
Nashville. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's really nice.
Very
Okay.
nice guy. He's talking about altcoin season starts when Bitcoin hits 75K. It's a little bit different take, a little more nuanced take, but he believes that this will happen somewhere between November and February. So many different TA experts looking at this from different perspectives and all coming to that same conclusion, looking at this November timeframe. So that, I mean, this is a huge, huge thing to be paying attention to. Mikhail talking about potentially $24 billion on Caspa. That also, I mean, like, really, you got to think about the hash rate. It's going parabolic, but Marathon moving into Mineit, I mean, that is a chaotic thing. Marathon Digital is one of the biggest mining organizations in the United States.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to talk about a top for Caspa. Now, Stargazer wallet, which is where I store my Constellation DAG tokens, looks like it's integrating with Uniswap. This is from Dagnum PI. Stargazer integration of EIP 6963. DAG is implementing this standard to enhance the DApp interoperability. This will improve the user experience with Ethereum compatible dApps like Uniswap and Yearn. God, anyone around the last cycle I'll pull up the Yearn chart here in a minute.
Yeah.
Users can now easily select their preferred wallet like Stargazer, and the update prevents an automatic wallet selection, making interaction smoother across multiple dApps. I absolutely love this. The interoperability moves from these crypto projects is what we really need to see to get it easier to use for the average person, and that's where you get the extra good money flowing in. Discover more details and technical updates in the full article right here from Constellation Network on Medium. And really, I want to back up and look at Yearn Finance. This is how crazy bull markets can get, you guys, because Yearn came up from the top ropes last cycle. It's currently sitting at $4,000, but look what this thing did. It started, pull my face out of the way here. Actually, no, this will be all right. This will be all right. Put my face up. So it started about $1,000, right? And we're like, when it came out, I was looking at it. I was like, man, $1,000 for token. This thing's brand new. What the hell is this BS? This thing cooked to right. I did remember seeing it in the $90,000 range. It doesn't show it here on this graph. Yeah, look at it. It just under 100, $94,000 per token. Okay. This is a flat out near 100x from a launch at $1,000. So I think that showing you this chart, I mean, I'm not recommending getting into Yearn by any means. I'm showing you this chart in relevance to how unreasonably bullish bull markets can become. And pull my face away right now just so you can see where this thing launched. I remember watching this thing and I was like, man, this downswing, I'm not touching this. This thing's dead. And then just absolute disgusting gains. This is some of the chaos that will be found, and even more so in this coming bull market. I'm not saying to get this project, but I am saying that things can come at you quick, and crypto is full of wonderful, happy surprises. What's the last thing we got here? I'll ask the chat out there as well. This is from Altcoin Buzz. You can only hold one of these tokens, either Injective, Internet Computer Protocol, Near, Chainlink, Mina, or Ton. Now, I think my answer is kind of obvious out of the options. Since it's an option, I am choosing Chainlink, but I am curious. What would you, first of all, Isaac,
Yes.
out of these 6 different projects, with where we are in the cycle right now and all the different charts, which one do you think would be your best opportunity if you could only choose one of these?
If I had to choose one of these, I'm very on edge because I hold Chainlink already,
Okay.
but I love Near.
You love Near.
Yeah. I like
Okay.
Near.
Well, and I hold both of these, right?
Yeah.
But I'm much more Chainlink. So you're thinking
Yeah.
Near?
I'm thinking more Near.
Okay.
I already hold
like
Chainlink
it.
though, so
I like,
wouldn't
and I
make
like
much
how you
difference.
didn't choose the same thing as me. That's very
Yeah.
based of you.
You know, Jeremy likes to shit on me for that. He's like,
Really?
you always just go with everybody else says.
That is not
And
true. That is not
I
true.
don't stand for it. I just make the most viable choices to what I agree with.
I like
So,
it. I like
come
it.
on.
Very based.
Very based.
Very
We're here on the
based.
blockchain base, man.
And let's see what the chat's
fuck.
saying here. We got link near ton 100%. So okay, she's thinking ton. That's a ton. That's a Telegram one. That's been a very fast move. That's a deep pick, Mikhail. Mina 100%. Mina's kind of that sneaky layer 2 project. And a lot of people kind of lining it up. No one wants to choose Injective as the main
What's wrong
hold.
with Injective, guys?
I hold Injective. I don't hold nearly as much Injective as I do Chainlink. My Injective bag is about the same size as my Near bag.
Yeah.
But I have a good amount of ICP, even left over. ICP was an amazing trade for me. This accumulation market, you guys, I was hammering into this thing. And this is just some story time, I guess, on ICP. So when it first launched last cycle, I was watching this thing. It launched at a really high number. I was like, wow, I'm going to wait for a pullback. I think a pullback to $200 gives me that chance to buy a bag of this thing. So I bought 2 ICP tokens for $200 a piece. Holy shit, things went wrong. And then it fell down to like $50. So I bought, I think 4 more ICP. And then, holy God, it started just losing a lot of steam. So I did get out of it when I saw these $60 pumps, and I just took the losses for what they were. But then over the last year, what I did was hammer in and bought a shit ton of these things when it was about $3.50. And again, the oracle on my shoulder, because I was taking profits all the way through this, but the oracle on my shoulder, my wonderful wife, the love of my life, helped me sell a gigantic portion of our portfolio at $16. So seeing this price reset down to $7, honestly, I'm feeling a little bit greedy on this. I feel like I need to buy more at this point. Something important to note, a lot of people, that Jerry Banfield asshole quit YouTube. A lot of people are trying to say that Jerry is the reason why ICP is losing it. But really, ICP, I don't think is losing it, you guys. It's going for becoming the next internet for the future. It's trying to become a Web3 internet, and it'll likely accomplish that over the next 2 cycles. This cycle, probably not, but the narrative will be there. And for ICP, I feel like it's definitely got some trajectory, and here's why. Look at this original pump 2 moment. It was all the way down here at like $4 and $5. The sell-off did not completely reset the price. Instead, it found this new home and a new level of support that's been proven twice over now, right at around $7. So seeing this price level outside of a massive sell-off, I really, really think people are fading this at the wrong time. And, this is where it's helpful to just have those levels in mind. You see the 3X, you take some profits, pay for some bills that are annoying you. See the 5X, take some more profits, do some improvements to your home, add some things to your property, or maybe even get new properties. And now we've had a price reset. And I'm pretty damn excited to have these levels available to myself.
You know what I like?
What's that?
Arweave.
You like
Zach
Arweave?
Nasty brought up. He was like,
Let's check
don't
them
forget
out.
about Arweave. It's at 21 cents
like
right now.
Arweave.
It's at
I like
21 cents right now. 2021, it hit a peak of $90. Or not 21 cents, $21. It hit $90 in 2021 around, July? And I think it's very underrated.
Let's put a trading view so it gives us the real data. It's funny how coin market cap, there you go. There it is, 90.5.
2021 in October.
Yep, right there. Arweave is an interesting one. It is in that AI narrative. I don't think the AI narrative is dead by any means.
Yeah.
And Arweave has actually been a basement pick since it was like number 110, I think it was, when Nick was like, oh my God, you guys, you got to look at it. Now look at it. It's absolutely been crushing it. And this is the all-time graph. Really, does it have some shelf action? This was a sell-off moment back in 2021 in kind of the run-up of the bull market. It had this level, but it did fall below this level. It is kind of in uncharted territories, if I have to be 100% honest. This is a $23 price support level there. Man, I mean, on Arweave, I'm a greedy entry point person.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for an entry point, I'm looking I'm looking more so in this range, in the 14 up to $16 range. but I think it's going to be it's going to be there, and it's going to be part of the AI initiative. And Sack Nasty stole the words out of my mouth. It's part of the storage application for this gigantic infrastructure of AI that they're trying to roll out. They need data storage, and that's where Arweave has a very good focus, and I think it'll find a nice home in there. Let's do the quick market cap to price. This is where you might run into problems, because I wanted to show this. This has a pretty good amount of inflation that's been going on with it, but now the circulating supply is 99.4% out. So these are important metrics to keep in mind. The all-time graph, back when it hit 2.5 billion, the price hit a level like we just showed at $90. It is recently hitting all-time highs on the market cap. Hit that on May 19th of 2024. But then we go to the price, and that sickness from inflation brought it to just about $50. So these are things you got to keep in mind. But I think it's going to be a mover, and most of the supply, if not all of the supply, is out by now. So I think it's going to rise to the top. I do think that it's going to surpass these all-time highs, but by how much, that is, God only knows that. You know what I mean? But I think that it is going to be if I'm looking at this is my opinion, not financial advice. This is a safe 4x, safe 5x, and it's hard to find altcoins that I can say that about. So that is important to keep in mind. So what a Friday show. We had some of the best TA I think we've ever had on here. That was absolutely awesome. Isaac on the sticks, just
like always. Let's go.
It's huge. You know, it's absolutely huge. Someone asked where Owen's at. Owen is now, he's off to running his own production company. And he's got this trailer full of all this camera equipment, and that kid is just going after it hardcore. And shout out to Owen, absolute savage, and the potential kin of the royal family running around Georgia there with his swooping flowing hair. Unreasonable. Unbelievable. But shout out to everyone in the chat. Just Jim, EDU Vids, Bad Fox, Sack Nasty, F Ukraine, Seth Shepard, EDU Vids, what do we got here? Mike Vino, Veteran Crypto, what up, my man? Sufficient enough. Down in the Rumble, we got Uncle Tinfoil, the Deadwood 76, holding it down. Thank you guys for all of the support. The channel is just absolutely cooking. We might be able to get 60,000.5 over the weekend here. I'm looking forward to seeing where this channel goes. I think we got the trajectory to hit 1 million subscribers during this bull market. And I'm going to be pissing in my own Cheerios the whole way up here, because I want to make sure that I take immense amount of profits this bull market. I want to stack homes for my children. And there is no power like just stacking real estate, creating a legacy. That is really what it's all about. All the money is great, but if you ain't taking care of your kids and your family, you ain't shit. So you got to make sure to focus on the legacy, man. That is everything in this world. And appreciate every single one of you for supporting us on the way up here. Isaac, any final words?
Thank you for tuning in to the blockchain basement.
Oh yeah, death metal there. We got to get our band going, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
You're getting after it.
You want to remind the people real quick? It's gonna be a heavy metal / southern rap band.
Y'all gonna see me rap?
Yeah,
hey, maybe Isaac will be rapping. I don't know. We can both do death metal voice, so it's we're gonna have to figure out who's doing what there. But
we'll get it going.
It's gonna be huge, and we gotta play it at Bitcoin Vegas.
100%. 100%.
So shout out to all y'all. I'm gonna go have a great weekend with my family, enjoy my wife's home cooking,
amen,
and hug those kids real hard, because I'm a lucky guy. So I'll see y'all very soon, and we'll have some weekend videos for you to check out. Take care.